Hello guys, I'll already start by telling you that there is no right or wrong when we are talking about time frames. However, there are some time frames that are better than others when we are speaking about beginners. And let's talk about this. Firstly, there are beginners that don't have a lot of time to trade. So they are already employed and they have their full-time job and they are doing trading as a part-time job to increase their earnings. We also have the other type of beginners, which are traders that are unemployed and they are starting as a full-time job the trading. With this scenario, usually you would think, okay, so the employed ones should use higher time frames and the unemployed ones should use smaller time frames. However, this is not the right thing to do. Let me explain. If we only think about the amount of time that you have available for trading, we won't have a precise metric to decide which is the best time frame for you to trade. So what I would like you to understand is that whenever we are speaking about time frames, from a higher time frame to smaller time frames, we start to get a lot of noise in the price because the smaller time frames are much more impacted by people which have fear or news or things like that impact all the prices that are in smaller time frames. However, whenever we see higher time frames, these noises are much smaller. And what this makes is that beginners have a much more easier time recognizing patterns and understand what they need to do when they are trading. Also, when we start to look in higher time frames, all the beginners have much more time to prepare, to understand what is happening, and also it's much more easier to control your anxiety. Me, for example, when I started day trading and I was using the 5 minutes time frame and I was buying, selling, and I wasn't even understanding what I was doing. I wasn't journaling. I wasn't understanding what was happening. When I went back to myself, I had already made 20, 30 trades and I didn't know why I did those trades. So we have as beginners these kind of emotions that are uncontrolled and we easily lose our patience and our control and start to overtrading. So whenever we use a higher time frame, it's easier to control these emotions and you have more time to understand what you are doing and you have also more time to correct the errors that you have made in your analysis. This is also something extremely important and I have a linked video in the description which says about why you should not start to look for the entry points in your trading strategies. With all of these situations set, I suggest you as a beginner do the same thing I did when I started to get consistency with trading. I started to, whenever I have time, I used the smaller time frames to trade in the demo account. And with the demo account, I started to gain experience faster because you trade a lot. However, I was using the demo account to train. So I was journaling every trade I was doing. And as it was a demo account, I wasn't so hungry to make money. So I was taking the time to analyze the graphics. I was understanding what was happening and I was journaling and getting information and metrics for my trading strategies. And for my real entry points, I was using higher time frames. And what was it? I started using the 1 week time frame to mark the supports, resistance, and get all the metrics that I needed to my trading strategy. And then I would go to the 1 hour time frame to make all the supports and resistance and see the metrics of my entry points and check if it have a confluence between the 1 hour time frame and also the 1 week time frame. And when both were in confluence, I would do my trades. And this hiked up all my tradings and made me start to lose less and less and less. I was controlling better my emotions. I was doing trades better. I was journaling. I was having time, and also much better, I wasn't staying a lot of time in front of the graphics. I was doing my analysis, and then I would only put a price alert, and then when it hit the price alert that I set, I would go to the screen and understand what was happening. So this helped a lot with my emotions and with my anxiety, and it was extremely better for me to trade this way. So I was using the demo account with smaller time frames to gain more experience and trade more to improve my trading strategy, and doing the entries, the real entries, and using my real money with a higher time frame. Now that I understand more of trading and I can spend much more time understanding the graphics, I started to use the 1 week time frame. I still use the 1 week time frame, but I do entries in the 15 minutes time frame. So to me, these are the best way to trade using my trading strategy. However, my trading strategy can be used with any time frame. However, I say that for beginners, I must recommend that you start to trade with your real account only with 1 hour time frame or more. And then when you are already consistent and you are handling your emotions right, you are being able to control your stop loss. And for this, I will also have a link at the video in the description where I will explain to you how you can manage your stop loss like a professional. Then and only then you will be able to go to smaller time frames and start to trade more with a smaller time frame. From my experience, I earn much more using the trades with higher time frames than I have with smaller time frames. However, I can guarantee that most of the time people tend to get more money when they use higher time frames with bigger moves that are much more fundamental than a noise in the graphic. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestion or comments, please let me know and leave them down in the comments. And also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And if you like the content, look in the description for more recommendations. See you soon!